our office in March here. We have 3 people now, focusing mostly on marketing and biz dev. But we've been in touch with the IDA for quite a few years. I think I first came here 3-4 years ago for the Web Summit, and the IDA already had talked to us in San Francisco, where our headquarters are. They were trying to wow us into coming here, opening our headquarters here for Europe. We were at the stage where we had no other offices besides our headquarters, so they've been investing the time, I think, and feeling us welcome without pressuring us to make a decision. And I think that was really helpful in our thought process. Like, we really took the time to figure out where it makes sense for us to have an office. In the end, we decided to have our headquarters in London. London was our 3rd biggest city at the time, so it made sense to just be there with our clients. But when the opportunity came, Ireland was clearly on our mind, and it's really only the 2nd country we have an office in Europe. So we've been very welcome so far, and everyone we talked to has had great things to say about our product, and it seems to be taking off. We've done more business in the last 6 months than in the previous 2 years. So
oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
It's been great so far.
Good. And do you think it's a sign of the fact that we are quite digitally focused in Ireland, that I know Eventbrite's figures in Ireland are very, very high. Am I right?
Yeah, I think I'm being digitally ready to adopt new ways of doing business, looking out for advances in technology that make your life easier is pretty important, and it's fairly homogeneous, I think, between all the Anglo-speaking countries. We've seen the same trend in Australia, for example, where they're really picking up fast all these new technologies.
We're delighted to host Eventbrite. You know, as I say, they have a very exciting product there. What we're doing in the hub, as you know, that is supported by the Department of Communications, Energy and Natural Resources as our core funder, and the model is to create this dynamic cluster within the Dublin 8 area. I think there's a lot of exciting things happening up there at the moment. I'll maybe talk about it later, but I'd love to offer an invite to everybody to come and visit us now, because we've come out of hopefully we've come out of the slump. Also, I think, you know, we see ourselves as a springboard. We get support working through the IDA. They will bring in the smaller companies trying to expand it into the European, Middle East and African areas. And it's a very quirky, interesting area of the city. We've a lot of old buildings, and we're currently, as you know, converting an old grain store. It'll give us 10,500 square feet. We should be finished in April. We're able to do that by doing a clever deal with a development company. We were building, as you know, 500-unit student accommodation, which will bring in a lot of bright young people, these millennials, which are basically the new yuppies. I remember the yuppies. They're all gone.
The expression well, yes.
You know, and the sort of things that Ciara was speaking about, I mean, you know, we're learning from them, and they've embraced digital in the big time and see how it affects their lives. I mean, we're all here, we're aware of the potential of it, but these actually people are actually doing it, so I think we should follow them and we learn from them. There's a lot of people in the startup space with the universities, into technology and other bodies who are better, you know, spinning out of technology, R&D. We want companies that are ready, you know, that are just recently established and ready to scale up. As I say, we have the ecosystem there now with unlimited broadband and the support, and the peer-to-peer support is very, very important. And people like yourselves who are there, you know, the trends and acting as a kind of a research arm almost, and being at the cutting edge of what's happening there. So we don't need to do all of that. So we want to create a nice environment where people feel comfortable. They come in on their bikes, they have a nice time, everything is there on hand, and there's a very good working environment, like the 21st century environment we're trying to create. I think we're getting there, but it's an ongoing challenge.
For a small business, you know, we're offering currently speeds on our footprint. So we're based in 5 cities and 17 regional towns. We're offering speeds of 250 meg for under €100, and we're also offering a 500 meg package as well. You know, we commissioned a digital report in June this year, and there were some really interesting stats that came out of that. One of the ones that really resonates with me is the businesses in Ireland. So there's around about 188,000 to 190,000 businesses in Ireland. 91% of those businesses have 10 or less people working for them. There is 47,000 businesses that still don't have a website. So they have absolutely no digital presence. So we need to do something there to fix that, so that they're visible globally, because today it's in a global world. But what was a little bit more disheartening was that the percentage of companies that had a website and no e-commerce on the website. So they had no ability to sell their products or services on their website. And you know, the internet is a fantastic other channel to sell services and products. So, you know, obviously we can give, you know, the fastest speed broadband and so on, but unless the businesses are doing the right things in the background, it's going to be very difficult for them to compete on the global stage. Now, you know, we do have a number of programs within UPC, and I know some other telecoms operators do as well, to try and bring businesses up to a level to get them, you know, to build a website and guide them in relation to how they should look to market as well.
I think, though, we have seen advancements, so I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I mean, if we look at, we have a smart startup program within Vodafone, and we've put thousands of companies through that. And also, if you look at the trends for small to medium business, like everything is on demand now. So our customers are demanding information now. So if a CFO wants numbers, they want it now. And actually, with the advancements of 4G, so we have 90% coverage in Dublin of 4G, 70% outside the country. And I actually recently was at the old head of Kinsale, which anybody that's been there is a beautiful but quite remote part of Ireland. I came out, somebody called me and said, Anne, we need you to approve something. Now, if I went back 18 months, 2 years ago, I probably would have had to got myself to Cork City. So I pulled up the side of the road, took out my iPad, downloaded it within seconds, approved it. Now, I happened to get a bang in the window where there was this farmer going, are you okay? And I said, I've just got 4G. And he said, I don't care, you're blocking 400 cows. But at the same time, I was able to get, you know, download, operate, you know, in quite a remote part. So I think we are seeing that advancements. And also I think, you know, in terms of mobile applications, we've done something really interesting with Brennan's Bread. So they had 200 drivers on the road. Everything was, we got to send it back by paper at the end of the day. And we worked with them to develop an app where, you know, they can enter it in, go straight back to office, invoicing straight away, do it in a low-cost manner, and that's revolutionary for, you know, a traditional brand name in Ireland. So there is lots of really good things happening. I think infrastructure is enabling that, 4G is enabling it. So we just need, as an industry, to encourage it and to make sure that we really push small to medium industry and business to move forward.